Stop! Hi everyone, my name is Artur Krasiński, and for over 10 years I've been observing and explaining how technology influences us, people and society. I'm greeting you from the studio inside the Innovation Campus in Warsaw, Poland. The podcast series is called the Early Adopters Nook, where we invite the innovative startups to talk about the products and how it's changing the world. My today's guests are two wonderful guests, Piotr Grzegorczyk,
Hello, everyone.
Chief Executive Officer and Chief Business Officer, so double, and Grzegorz Prajbisz, Chief Scientific Officer of COVID Genomics. How you guys doing?
Hi, and Chief Executive Officer.
And Chief Executive Officer. So yes, as well you have two things to do. How are you guys?
Quite good, thank you.
Everything is all right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So wonderful Polish winter time almost. I mean, like autumn. But we're talking about the diseases and COVID today, so that's why I'm referring to. So my first question is very general and very obvious, but I have to ask you, what is COVID Genomics? What you guys doing?
So basically, COVID Genomics is a young startup that is focused on developing predictive models to help laboratories and pharmaceutical companies develop better mRNA vaccines and also PCR tests. With our machine learning and AI models, we are able to better predict the future mutations of virus, so the vaccines can be more mutation-proof.
Wow! So you guys really do a lot of things connected to COVID. Okay, you are the winner of many competitions, including Application of Tomorrow, UE versus Virus Hackathon, and Research Hackathon organized by Stanford University. And okay, so at what stage is your project currently?
Okay, that depends on the product, because we are developing two products. First is RT-PCR analyzer. So that product is on the MVP stage, and we are already talking with first clients to find out if the product suits their needs. And also we have another product, which is mRNA drug discovery system, and we in that product we already developed some models, but we have only we got funding about 3 months ago, so we are on an early stage, but we already have some models, and the product will be on the MVP stage in the next 2 years.
Wonderful.
Yes, so basically last year we have won a few hackathons, and it gave us quite a big boost with growth. And also currently we are in the process of fundraising our seed round. So that's the current stage that we are, let's say, finance-wise.
Okay, so you're talking about the financing and looking for an investor. So you are looking for an investor right now?
Yes, that's true. We are currently fundraising and looking for investors or venture capital funds. We are looking for about 450,000 euros to further develop our products and scale even faster.
And you call yourself as a biotech startup?
I would say so. Biotech and technological biotech startup, yeah. I mean, we are connecting the technology side and the biology genetics side.
Because the AI thing is, I think, the most important in your project. So why are you guys interested in the COVID and fighting with viruses? Why you just don't want to set up another e-commerce or I don't know IoT kind of startup?
So basically, we first started last year with COVID-19, and that is the disease that is caused by virus SARS-CoV-2. But our models are developed from the first day, so they can be easily generalized into other viruses and other diseases. And currently, the system that we will be developing regarding the mRNA vaccines will not be strictly focused on the SARS-CoV-2 virus, but it will be very broad. And as probably many of you can tell, now the mRNA vaccines have quite a lot of attention. So there are already a lot of companies thinking about doing mRNA vaccines for example, HIV or influenza, and we are going to be a company that can help them develop these vaccines faster and more efficiently.
Wonderful. So it seems like you are in the right time, at the right time, in right place. And so what's your, is there many proposals? Many investors are interested in investing in you, or just is the problem perhaps with that you are very young and you have guys not have so much work to prove that you will be, the next unicorn?
I would say that it isn't such a problem. We have already some proposals from venture capital funds, but we have quite a bit of runway left. So we are not in a rush, and we are collecting all the offers to choose the best fund or the best investor that can help us the most and to accelerate in the future.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Why does the market need a solution developed by your team? Why you guys will be perhaps the most interesting startup, the biotech or technology startup in next few years?
We are already talking with future customers from the beginning of the project, and the first product, which was RT-PCR analyzer, was inspired by Professor Pyrć, which have shown us that there is a need for some in silico analysis of PCR tests. And the second one was inspired by research and reading a lot of papers, and we have found some gap in science which we want to fulfill and create something really new.
Okay, so passion and knowledge.
Yes, and also there was a gap in science, but also a gap in the market, because when last year COVID hit, there were a lot of companies developing vaccines, mRNA vaccines and other vaccines, and not all of them have succeeded. Quite a bit of companies have failed on the first stage or second stage or even earlier. And in the interviews with some of the companies, there was many times said that the mutations has been the most quite a critical point that made the vaccine fail, because the virus has mutated so much that they were literally combating some other virus.
Yes. We only see the winners. We only see that Pfizer and BioNTech had developed one vaccine and Moderna developed another, but we don't see the other side. We don't see the companies which failed to do that. So CEO of CureVac in one of interviews told about that. Actually, we are fighting another virus than 1 year ago, and that is the reason why their vaccine failed. And we don't want I would say we want to stop the failure process. We want to help pharmaceutical companies win before the first and second clinical stage.
Okay. I have this conversation with one of the doctors who was expert in COVID and coronaviruses, and he told me that there's a problem with the tests, because there's many tests on the market, and tests, RT PCR tests, are the most efficient, and but they are not very cheap. Yeah. So there is a need to develop a new kind of test, or perhaps to be sure that this RT PCR tests are better in terms of the things that we know. I mean, like when you're testing and you have the results, and you have to be 100% sure that this is the right test. I mean, like the outcome must be 1 or 0, and right now there's like slightly differences in the outcome, and so you have to do another test to be sure. Or so I think what you guys trying to do is to put some not only the science but the actually the AI into this process, and you have to first you want to speed up this process, and this is my opinion, as an outcome, maybe a side effect will be that the test will be cheaper for the mass market.
It depends, because our main goal is to create more sensitive and precise test, and that won't affect the cost of the manufacturing that tests, but will affect in higher efficiency. So that our main goal is to provide better quality, not reduce the cost.
Yes, but also if some kind of hospital or pharmacy or an individual want to be 100% sure, as you said before, he may use now 2 tests, maybe 3 tests, just to be sure. And with higher quality tests, higher quality tests do not exactly say mean that there will be lower price, as Grzegorz has said. But when someone wants to be really, really sure, it will be much cheaper for him, because with higher quality he can use less tests, maybe not 2 tests but 1 test, maybe not 3 tests but 2 tests, and it will be much cheaper for him.
At some point, from the perspective of public health, if the test won't work in half of cases, it's wasted in half of cases.
Of course.
So from that perspective, it may be we may affect the price. The price.
So, yeah, I was referring to this case because when you are sure that this test will perform well, so you don't have to buy just extra packages and store it in your hospital. You can use one, and you will be perfectly sure. You will be 100% sure that this is the right outcome. Okay, so we mostly are talking about the COVID, the SARS-CoV-2, and coronaviruses. But can the tools you offer, you guys design, be used for other purposes as well? I mean, like the viruses and other diseases?
Yes, that was our main goal. We didn't want to solve the only SARS-CoV-2 problems. We both are mathematicians, so we were trying to find more general problem to solve. We didn't ask the question how to design a vaccine for a SARS-CoV-2. We asked the question how to design a vaccine for any virus.
Okay.
And our goal is to solve the problems for future pandemics and epidemics.
Wow.
So first solution may be used in RT-PCR analyzer may be used in any virus, on any virus, and our system to for a vaccine drug discovery and vaccine design is may be used in another virus, and we are not only focusing on the SARS-CoV-2, we are also focusing on influenza, because as we all know, viruses tend to mutate and evolve in time.
Yes, sure.
And because of this, every year we need a new flu vaccine. And there is a need on the market to create better influenza vaccines, and that's what we are trying to solve. So our solution are much more general than just focused on SARS-CoV-2.
One virus. Perfect. During the COVID, there was like many people were talking about the cooperation between the scientists. From your perspective, from your point of view, did you guys do you feel that this is all those people are focusing right now on the one thing, or because basically you just wanted to make money out of this process? I mean, you're discovering new things, you design new tool, but actually at the end of the day you want to make money out of it, and your investors will be interested in it too. So actually the scientists are much more like science kind of guys. So do you feel like by approaching them and asking questions, do you feel like they wanted to help you, or just they are much more like, okay guys, we are scientists, you are a businessman, so we cannot tell you everything?
It depends. It depends, because some scientists, when they hear about, for example, getting equity for working in startup, they are scared because they never did that, and they want publications.
Have no, experience.
So it's fine. We still want to co-work with those people because it's not COVID. We don't want to. We want to create a research startup and solve real scientific problems, which solve. And our solutions target to solve also market problems. So I would say it depends. We work with both scientists which are interested in business and those which are not. So some of them were really good oriented in business, and they were our mentors, but in fact they were scientists, not businessmen, but we learned a lot from them.
Awesome. Cool. What are you currently doing right now, and what do you plan to do in the next 12 months as a COVID Genomics?
So as we discussed a bit before, we are currently fundraising, and we hope that in the next 12 months, I think for sure we'll have closed our next round of financing. That is the seed round. And also we are currently starting to develop the mRNA vaccine system, which will help pharmaceutical companies develop the vaccines that are better, develop them also faster and more efficiently.
Awesome. Okay, that was my last question. I hope you guys will do some magnificent breakthrough in the science, because actually we need this kind of thinkers and people like you. Otherwise, we'll be stuck in the same process and not going forward. So actually, this is I met a lot of people here. There's many solutions, many startups, but right now I feel that you are just special kind of guests, and I hope you guys will do something magnificent in the future.
Thanks.
Especially that this is something that we need right now. Actually, people are counting on it, and because of the situation in Poland and also in the Europe, and especially in the developing countries, we need more vaccines. We need more tests. We need to be sure that people can afford to buy vaccines and, of course, the tests. So, I think you should be doing great in the future, and actually everybody should be supporting you because this is going on good.
We are willing to.
Thank you very much. We hope that in the future we can solve the problem of mutating viruses for everyone, because of course we hope that next pandemic won't come, but the future taught us otherwise. There is a pandemic every 50 or 100 years or even
Exactly.
so.
Yeah, and we truly believe that as medicine was changed by statistics in the 20th century, we will change the medicine of 21st century using machine learning and AI. And our goal is to make people's lives better, and we hope that we'll stop future pandemics by our work. And thank you for a whole conversation.
No problem. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much, guys. My today's guest was Piotr Grzegorczyk and Grzegorz Prajbiś from COVID Genomics. Once again, thank you guys for being with me. And my name is Artur Krasiński, and this is a podcast about early adopters, technology, and change. Please share, like, leave a comment below. This will help us to get a broader audience. Thank you very much once again, and see you next time.
Boom. Wow. Stop. What?